he has a chance tonight in this fourth and final game of the evening.
13th appearance. He's brought a team either at Michigan or San Diego State to the NCAA Tournament. He and Lon Kruger are very good friends. In fact, their wives are very close. This is the 21st meeting between these two. Kruger met him at Michigan when he was at Illinois, and of course at UNLV over the last couple years, facing the Aztecs. So our officials tonight, Ed Corbett has been involved in 6 Final Fours. Lamar Simpson, 1 Sweet 16 and 8 tournaments, and Ron Groover, 4 NCAA tournaments. We're in Philadelphia. It's the 7th seeded Aztecs and the 10th seeded Sooners. And away we go. Tapley will save the ball, and here comes San Diego State in white.
Mountain West has not fared well in the NCAA tournament. Colorado State, the only victorious one. Let's see if San Diego State, with athleticism, try to get into the game quickly.
While Franklin gets it back outside. Shot clock at 15. Squeezing the trigger inside, and Stevens can't get it. And here come the Sooners, led by Sam Grooms.
Both teams good man-to-man defenses. The question is for Oklahoma, if they don't shoot it well, can they go get it off the glass?
Oklahoma in their last 10 games, only 6 and 4. So they have stumbled just a bit, coming in at 20 and 11, 11 and 7 in the Big 12. Grooms a 3, and a late close by Xavier Thames, and calling for the triple.
Well, that's only Sam Grooms' 6th three-pointer. He's now 6 of 14 from beyond the arc, but that's just enough to keep the defenses honest.
And that's going to allow him to get into the paint area too when you knock down a shot or two.
Franklin trying to twist his way by Stephen Pledger. Foul goes on Pledger. 18:46 to play in this NCAA tournament. Oklahoma and San Diego State are playing in the 3,000th game in the 75-year history of the tournament. The first game back in 1939, Brown and Villanova played at the famous Palestra in Philly.
Well, don't we get a prize or something for being in the 3,000th game?
You would think.
Jamal Franklin is from Hawthorne, California. He is the only player in college basketball that leads his team in points, rebounding, assists, and steals.
You know, we saw Sherwood Brown of Florida Gulf Coast, and the energy and a little bit the attitude and the cockiness he has. Well, Jamal Franklin is a lot like that. Brings it each and every night, goes to talking to other players, motivates his teammates.
Well, you saw a little bit of full court pressure. Expect San Diego State to be able to kind of weave that into their defense because of their length and because of that quickness that accompanies the length.
Sooners in the NCAAs for the first time in 4 years since 2009. Long-range shot right here will not drop for Emba. Franklin, he'll put up a 3.
He's one of their best three-point shooters, and I like that in transition. It doesn't allow the Sooners defense to kind of corral Franklin.
Go inside, Mbai was leaning.
There's the air ball there.
And
Mbai at the right place.
That's the strength of Oklahoma. You know, they get 13 points a game off of offensive rebounds as opposed to opponents 10 points a game. It's a big-time eraser if you can go get the misses.
4th consecutive tournament for the Aztecs out of the Mountain West. Stevens outside finds Tapley.
Yeah, in my opinion, it's Chase Tapley that has to be the X factor.
Grooms, Mbai climbs the ladder. Beautiful pass.
And really, Oklahoma not great in transition, pretty good, but Grooms right there to Mbai, showing you the athleticism you were talking about, Lynn, at the top.
Aztecs come in 22 and 10, 9 and 7 in conference play. This by Franklin. Picked up by J.J. O'Brien. Out to Xavier Thames. Tapley's got the ball. Ooh, nice move by Thames to get free. O'Brien. The bounds. Did he step on the line? He did indeed. the other way we come.
Well, look at this alley-oop from a long way off. Kind of reminiscent of the first game this evening. He took a look right there. You get behind the defenses, if you got that kind of athleticism, that's an easy play to make.
Pledger's going to leave, and freshman Buddy Heald from Freeport, Bahamas will check in for the Sooners. Biggest win for Oklahoma this season against number 5 Kansas back on February 9th down in Norman. Osby works on J.J. O'Brien and rejected inside with a beautiful swat away that time by Skylar Spencer. This comes off the bench. Osby and a foul.
How about the wingspan there of Spencer coming weak side? I mean, Osby thought he had a clear open lane to the rim, and Spencer out of nowhere with the rejection.
He got it right at the apex.
Yes, he did.
A split second later, it would have been on the way down, but Spencer in the last 11 games has averaged almost 2 blocks per game.
Osby at the line, 79%. He is the only player on the Sooners with NCAA tournament experience, and he got that at Mississippi State, where he transferred from a couple years ago. He's all Big 12 first team, and he is the first at Oklahoma in that role since Blake Griffin. They made those great runs in the couple years he was down in Norman. Fitzgerald to check in, and Osby will take a breather. Andrew Fitzgerald, a senior from Baltimore.
I like the pressure here early on by Lon Kruger and the Sooners here, trying to speed up the Aztecs.
Franklin.
Got Franklin doing a little bit of everything. He rebounds, he brings the ball up, plays solid D.
Jack of all trades, Lynn. There's a reason why he leads this team in all those categories. He's asked to do so much.
J.J. O'Brien throws it outside.
Nice.
Chase Tapley. He leads him in three-point shooting.
DJ Gay was the one player that Tapley was supposed to take over for the senior leadership.
Juwan Hornbeek is coming too for the Sooners.
Still there.
Hornbeek has it. Yep. Emba works into Tapley, who now has the ball, and here come the Aztecs are running. Ahead he goes, Franklin. And a whistle and a foul called on the Sooners. 15-15. The 10th ranked Oklahoma Sooners in 7th seeded San Diego State. Now look at the Mountain West teams in this NCAA tournament. Mexico was stunned. UNLV lost to Cal. Colorado State took care of the Big 12 Missouri, or the SEC Missouri Tigers. And Boise State lost to LaSalle.
Colorado State faces Louisville up next. And there were so many high hopes for the Mountain West. Everyone was talking about the RPI and the Power Conference, the #1 over the Big 10, Big East, ACC. Has really struggled in the tournament. And to me, when the lights are on, this is when it matters the most.
Tapley and Franklin out there. Thames remains on the floor. Also Spencer, the freshman. Chase Tapley a 3. He was defended by Pledger. Now here come the Sooners running. So Isaiah Cousins is checked in for the first time for Oklahoma. Fitzgerald and Heald and Cousins. Cameron Clark, one-time starter, now coming off the bench, pickpocketed right there. O'Brien gets it off to Franklin on the fly.
What a smart move there. Good decision there in transition. J.J. O'Brien, one dribble, gave it right back to Franklin. Didn't force anything, just pulled up to regular 3-on-2, one break, and knocked down the 15-footer.
Heald looking for Clark, who puts it in. Cameron Clark. 60 of 63 games, and this year off the bench.
Well, Cameron Clark really come on strong. Began the year shooting 5 of 21, and since then he's been shooting 56%.
And Spencer taking it off the baseline. He's got his first 2.
That's right, young fellas, man in the back line playing solid defense. You got to reward him every once in a while.
Especially when he runs like that. When your bigs run, as you know, you always wanted the basketball win.
Yes. The horses, you want them to work, you got to feed them.
Little volleyball down there, collected by the Aztecs. Here comes Thames and Tapley the other way from O'Brien. To O'Brien and to Spencer. Held and fouled inside by the Sooners.
You talk about you want the horses to feed, you got to feed them. Look at this. Spencer running the floor. Good hands, good finish.
We tried to say if you're going to run, you got to feed the horses.
Yes. I almost got it out.
I liked it.
Long day.
We are, yeah.
Long day.
This is game 4. Franklin, nice hesitation, and can't get it to go. Shepard is in.
Good hands.
Here comes Pledger from Chesapeake, Virginia. Isaiah Cousins on that baseline. Outside, Heald with a 3. Franklin with the rebound. Also in the game is James Rahon.
Okay, I like this freshman Shepard III, especially at his size. They put him a lot of times at ball handling responsibilities.
Rahon on the move as Osby was trying to come over and defend. As this is the biggest lead for San Diego State.
And that was good use of the backboard by Rahon. Fundamentally sound on that 45-degree angle.
And then they're going to need his shooting throughout this game. Struggled really recently with his shot.
Wow.
Heald. What a tie. Moments ago. And still the Sooners down by 1 as Heald puts in his first 2. That shot by Franklin won't go. Picked up on the play by Cousins. Trying to dance on Rahon. Clark across the lane.
Oh, nice.
Heald puts it in for the Sooners.
Nice putback there by Heald.
Good hustle by Heald. That's got to be a great sign for them. He had a foot injury February 12th, missed 5 games, and really was slowed down, just starting to round into who he truly is as a player.
Yeah, since that surgery, just 3 points and 3 rebounds a game. Shepard looking inside. J.J. O'Brien back to Shepard. Little 2-man game. And plenty of time on the clock. The defense by Cameron Clark. Out of bounds, off of the Aztecs. 11:40 in the first half. And the Sooners on top by 1. We've had 6 lead changes in the first 8+ minutes, and now the Powerade sideline report with our Lewis Johnson.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much. Well, Oklahoma freshman guard Buddy Hield already making some noise in this 4th game of the night. He is originally from the Bahamas and had a real scare early in the season. He broke his right foot in the game, and as the story goes, he was back in the locker room crying because he had thought he had lost his entire freshman year. Well, we were told that he had surgery the next day, and within 2 hours of getting off the operating table, Hield was back at the men's practice cheering on his teammates. He was expected to be out 4 to 6 weeks, but amazingly got back in 3. And he was a part of our high school three-point shooting contest last year. But Buddy Hield is a tough young man and is one of the favorites on the team already, even as a freshman. Kevin?
That leads the team in steals and in free throw shooting. He's back out there, and an important recruit for Lon Kruger. In his 2nd season, hired by one of the best athletic directors in all of college sports, Joe Castiglione.
When a guy is that tough, especially as a freshman, that can kind of permeate throughout the rest of the team. All hands on deck.
Cousins, who misses inside, and a rebound by Cameron Clark, and a shove inside with 11:24 to play, and the foul will go on Osby for the first time. One thing about Osby, he has been incredibly consistent throughout the season for Oklahoma.
Well, he certainly has. And again, everybody marvels at how hard he competes both in practice and as well as in the games. Averaging 19 points and shooting 62% in 11 conference wins for Oklahoma. So he obviously is the guy that you depend on if you're a Sooner.
Cousins caught the shot by Tapley. Races the other way, Cameron Clark. Pleasure to Clark. The defense by Shepard. He had a hand on it.
You look at this Oklahoma Sooner team, they have so many players at that 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", that can do so many things. And again, there's one of your favorite calls there, Lynn.
Well, I'll tell you, you know what? It's
the palming.
Because what it does, it forces young men to play and be more fundamentally sound in handling the ball. I mean, even on the next level, you see too many guys putting their hands under the ball when they cross over. And that goes all the way back to high school, because in high school, they don't call it enough.
Osby, he's the 2nd leading scorer in the Big 12, and he puts one down. He's got 4 for the Sooners.
I love how he froze the defense right there. As soon as he got it, he faced. It's a subtle little jab step and raised up for the easy shot.
Off the hands of Stevens, ricocheting to the Sooners. And here comes Cousins, galloping and floating inside, and he puts it in. 8-0 run for Oklahoma.
Like a jet. pushed the ball up the floor, coast to coast. Flying first class.
Like a jet, huh? How about this? Look at the ball control right here. Recognizing the bigger defender is coming over, kind of shielded himself, braced himself for the contact.
I mean, he pushed it into another gear once he got to half court. He saw that lane open up.
Yeah, Lon Kruger has some nice athletes on this Oklahoma Sooner team here.
How about the many places he's been, Reg, and the changes he's been? Every place he's gone, he's taken over a program that may be staggering just a bit. He always makes it better in his second or third year there.
Makes it better, and they always seem to make the NCAA tournament as well. Does a great job of developing young talent. That's probably been his biggest strong calling right there.
Xavier Thames from Sacramento. Shepard. Rahon. Under 10 to play here in the first half from Philadelphia. Shepard inside to Stevens, and he traveled with the ball. We're talking about what Lon Kruger has done. He's gone to Illinois, and he was at Kansas State. He used to play for the Wildcats at Kansas State, where he was then the Big 8 Player of the Year in the early 70s.
Yeah, it was right around my era, and Lon Kruger, one of those hard-nosed guards who could defend as well as put the ball in the basket. And many times you look at those teams that he brought to the NCAA tournament, a lot of them had his same personality.
Pledger, the second all-time leading three-point shooter for the Sooners. That was number 249.
If you're Steve Fisher, you got to try to get Jamal Franklin back in this game before he gets away from you.
Rahon with the ball. Chiseling his way for two inside. James Rahon, who's been battling a right shoulder injury since February, a starter all last season, coming off the bench now.
Yeah, primarily known for his three-point range here. Takes the ball off the deck here, going to the free throw line.
Pledger picks up his second personal foul.
Well, you talked about getting Jamal Franklin back in the ball game. That's exactly what Steve Fisher is going to do. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on whether Rahon hits this shot.
Pledger is
He's
out.
coming in for him.
One beat comes in the game for Oklahoma. Grooms is back in for the Sooners. And here comes Franklin back in, taking the place of Rahon. Spencer in the contest. Tapley. Shepard.
And I like this here by the Aztecs. Extend your defense.
Here comes Grooms finding some pressure. Osby has the ball and approaching 9 to play in the first half. Yeah. Oklahoma is 9 of 18 shooting from the floor.
Yeah, it's interesting because both of these teams aren't very big. They've got a lot of the same type of similar athletes.
Mbai back in, switch on defense. Franklin watching the quicker Grooms. Mbai picked up by Thames. Shot clock at 4. Grooms will let it fly from 3 and picked up with a good leap inside by Hornby.
Oh, what a move down low. Nice spin move there by Osby.
He located the defense.
Absolutely.
He's got 6. Thames will put up a long 2.
Well, this is turning into a pretty good track meet here.
Mbai.
Well, there's so much parity in the tournament this year. I mean, there's no big difference from a 7-10, 8-9, obviously. As we saw earlier, a 15-2 as Hornby knocks down a jump shot.
Hornby is a freshman from Arlington, Texas. He's a top 100 recruit. Well, these freshmen play a lot for Lon Kruger.
They certainly do, and they don't play like freshmen anymore. This is 31 games now. No longer are you a freshman.
And a foul on Hornby of the Oklahoma Sooners. They've led by as many as 9. The Aztecs have led by as many as 3. Osby floats in, the leading scorer, and a first-team All-Big 12 selection. Oklahoma 27-19. On to the winner of that game will take on the Buckeyes Sunday, the second-seeded Buckeyes. And there's that Arizona-Harvard matchup. That was a surprise with Harvard getting a win here. 10th-seed Oklahoma is led by as many as 9. We've had 6 lead changes in the opening moments of this one in Philadelphia.
Well, that is certainly something. We talk about making history. And first 2 years of eligibility, you have to wait 4 years going Division I before you're eligible for the tournament.
Well, when we watch practice, that Florida Gulf Coast team, so relaxed. Coach Enfield, I mean, that was, I don't even want to call it a shoot-around. They were just having so much fun. Excited to be here, and it showed.
Xavier Thames with the ball, plenty of time on the clock. Picked up by Spencer. Out to Thames, picked up by Grooms. Here comes Tapley. Then a look inside to Franklin. Oh, he shimmies down that baseline and finds 2.
Well, Tapley made the pass, but to me, more importantly, the way Franklin cut back door, the defense turned its head, got caught ball watching, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do if you're Franklin. When the defender turns its head, you cut back door.
Buddy Hield didn't know what to do. He just stood there, turned.
That's a freshman mistake.
That's right.
Tyler Neal is coming for the Sooners. Mbai just picked up his first personal foul. And Grooms will take it by midcourt with the defensive Thames on him. And approaching 7 to play in the first half. Hield to Mbai to Osby. Osby picked up by J.J. O'Brien. Oh, and swatted away inside. Another good rejection turned in by Skylar Spencer.
And Spencer didn't need to block it out of bounds. This is that old Georgetown myth of Patrick Ewing. Keep the ball alive.
Exactly. Greatest shot blocker of all, Bill Russell. That was the key to his success. Start the fast break with him.
Start the fast break. Absolutely right, Lynn.
And by the screen, the switch on defense. Osby is pushed just enough by Spencer to miss it. The smack-talkingest smack-talkers are back. Men at Work, a brand new season premieres Thursday, April 4th at 10, 9 Central.
I thought we saw that last game.
That's only on TBS. Very funny.
The Sherwood Brown part of that show.
6.5 to play in the half. Thames, Chase Tapley. He's been in the NCAA Tournament 4 consecutive years. Spencer with a rebound inside by Mbai.
Yeah, good block out there by Mbai. Tough shot there by Spencer, though. I know there was a pick and roll and they went to you, but suck the defense down. Find one of those shooters on the outside.
Grooms, who was a starter last year, off the bench, now starting again for the Sooners. Osby, he's drawing a crowd. Grooms, shot clock at 9. Buddy Hield. And picked up with Franklin on the fly. And Xavier Thames puts in a 3. Earlier this season had a lower back injury. Last 4 games, though, he is picking up steam with averaging 15 points a game for the Aztecs.
See why Franklin does a little bit of everything. Got the rebound, led the break, danced a little bit at the top of the key, and was the one who made the assist.
Grooms trying to sneak his way, and he travels with the ball. Well, fans, be the first to know the latest news on all your teams with Bleacher Report's Team Stream app. Stay one step ahead. Check out Team Stream on your iPhone, your iPad, or Android device today, just like Len and Reggie do. Cameron Clark is back in. There goes Mbai. There goes Grooms. Clark is back in. Hield remains.
See what Coach Kruger does an excellent job of keeping fresh bodies on the floor. We talked about his roster not being very big, but a lot of players from 6'3", 6'5", 6'6".
Franklin on the move. I don't know if that was a pass or a shot, but the shot clock did not reset, so it continues to roll. Now down to 10.
An inadvertent pass there.
Tapley on the move. And Stevens tries to tap it in as Minnesota UCLA is ready to begin things on True TV, one of the 4 networks carrying it all, and a three by Osby. Outside, he now has 9 for the Sooners, who lead by 5.
And you love the way he lets the game come to him. Team's leading scorer, acknowledge team leader, and he's not forcing it, he's letting it come to him.
Not only did we see that quick move on the baseline in the post, but how about Osby in transition, the trailing big for the 3.
San Diego State is shooting 43%. Thames a little bit off right there. Rebound yanked down by Tyler Neal. Here come the Sooners. They're shooting 48%. Cousins, Neal the 3, and picked up by J.J. O'Brien. He's got 3 rebounds. Franklin. Tapley for 3. And the freshman from Mount Vernon, New York. Healed, offensive foul.
That's just not good basketball. You got to be able to read the defense and take advantage when an advantage exists. None exists on that one.
Healed picks up his first, the high flyer, and by Osby inside, stuffing it home.
Back.
Welcome back to Philadelphia, the 7th-seeded Aztecs and the 10th-seeded Sooners of Oklahoma, with a look at some of the numbers so far. Look at the points off turnovers and how Oklahoma has cashed in.
Well, because of the ability of the athletes of the Sooners, we talked about the versatility of a Hill and a Pledger, and then Osby being so aggressive down low and outside, you can't turn the basketball over versus this Sooner team.
Well, Thames is out there, and just checking in is Winston Shepard. Stevens on the floor for the Aztecs. Franklin remains. Rahon, that's the San Diego State 5. With 3:41 to play in the first half. We've had some great crowds in Philadelphia today. We saw Duke win, although a very stubborn Albany team was right there. Florida Gulf Coast just take care of number 2 seed Georgetown This is the fourth and final game today. Rahon beating the defense of Cousins. Franklin will begin to move. Hield is defending. And out of bounds. Well, coming up on the AT&T at the half, we'll get you caught up on all the latest tournament news, highlights, and updates. That's coming up on the AT&T at the half from our studios in New York.
Love the activity of Deshaun Stevens, the only white jersey for the Aztec. Keep that possession alive for San Diego.
Thames, Shepard comes in off the baseline and puts it through for his first two tonight.
And that's what San Diego State has to be able to do. Put back some of the misses. Shooting just 39%.
On top, they got Cameron Clark making the drive on Shepard. Shoved down that play. And a foul. Well, we've had some very interesting wins today by 12 seed Ole Miss, 13 seed LaSalle, and number 15 Florida Gulf Coast.
That's why I go to the parity in this tournament. There's not one or two dominant teams. A lot of good teams, but even on a so-so night, a good team can be beat. And we saw that today.
Hield picks up his second personal foul on the offensive move on that baseline.
That's twice he's just ran right into a white jersey, Lynn. I mean,
Gotta
obviously
learn.
he sees them in front of him, right?
Got to learn how to come to a jump stop and elevate.
Hield will check out. Pledger will check back in. Three-point shooting is one of the calling cards for the Aztecs. 4 different players have hit at least 30 three-point shots this season. But it's tied for number 1 in the Mountain West. Long-range shot right there. Won't go from Xavier Thames and pulled down by Cameron Clark. And quick outlet going the other way. And here comes Isaiah Cousins. Cousins over Stevens. Picked up by Thames.
Too quick of a shot right there. That's not necessarily in his wheelhouse.
Shepard takes the ball and he traveled with it.
Well, Romero Osby, we told you, team leader, does a terrific job regardless of where he is. He shoots the jumper mid-range, certainly on the block he's dominant and beyond the arc. It's a tough guy to game plan for.
Well, we told you the second leading scorer in the Big 12. He's also the 5th leading rebounder. Pledger triggers it from the side. Thames picks it up for the Aztecs, and here they come running the other way. Franklin. And Tyler Neal got back for the Sooners. Rahon into Cousins. The corkscrew move and the deuce.
That's 2 moves I've seen. Rahon has taken the ball off the dribble. We didn't see a lot of that in the Mountain West.
A 10-3 run by San Diego State. Down by a point, led by Steve Fisher. And you take a look at our score. 1-point game. Little run here by San Diego State after they trailed by 9. Hey, get full coverage of the 2013 Division I Women's Basketball Tournament at ncaa.com/women's Final Four. San Diego State, first 16 games, Lenny, they went 14-2 and averaged about 72 points a game. But the last 16 games, 8 up and 8 down, averaging much less, 66 points a game.
And they're not shooting the ball very well right now, 39%. But also, they're giving up too many points away. 5 turnovers. Oklahoma's got 10 points, and Oklahoma's got 6 offensive rebounds, and they've got 8 points off of those. San Diego State has no second chance points.
Oklahoma has 1 score in the last 6.5 minutes.
Well, get the ball down to your bread and butter. Talk about the second leading scorer in the Big 12.
Cousins a 3. Isaiah Cousins, who coming into tonight was only 9 of 39 beyond the arc.
Yeah, he's come off the bench the last 6 games and really hadn't been an offensive threat.
That's a good-looking shot outside. Rahon puts it in. He has gone 4 of 4.
Oh, Rahon off the bench, 10 points.
Yep.
Huge for Steve Fisher. A team that, as you just mentioned, struggled the last 16 games.
Pledger. Good-looking rebound by Mbai. They'll try to dance here on the defense of Shepard.
Hey, it's okay when you get an offensive rebound to kick it back out and rerun your offense. I mean, just because you get it doesn't mean you have to go up with it. I'm being a little cynical then. I'm sorry.
Nah, you tell it like it is.
Franklin with the ball. And a timeout taken by Steve Fisher. His 14th year at San Diego State. Timeout. Back in Philadelphia, watch live games on your computer, iPhone, iPad, and select Android devices with NCAA March Madness Live. Watch now at ncaa.com/March Madness or download the app today. Look at Steve Fisher. 8 full seasons at Michigan. We told you about the tenure. San Diego State. He's been to 3 Final Fours. Won a couple of Mountain West regular season titles coming into the season. They were picked in the preseason poll to win it again. They're just 8-8 since mid-January. As we said, after starting 14-2. Franklin to Thames. The shot. Oh, the knock away inside. Clark rejected the ball. The fight on the floor. They get tied up as they wrestle for it. And a tie-up with Oklahoma getting the arrow.
And if Thames would have used the other side of the rim right here, he had a wide open layup.
Yep.
He exposes the ball late. I don't know if that was Clark with the block shot. Nice recovery there.
.4 Reds to shoot. Mbai and Cousins. That will take us to the conclusion of the first half. The 7th-seeded Aztecs are down by 2. They've led by as many as 3. Oklahoma's big lead climbed as high as 9 with a tie and 6 lead changes. 10 for Franklin, leading San Diego State. No one in double figures for Oklahoma. Let's send it over to Lewis Johnson.
All right, thanks very much. So your thoughts on this first half and adjustments here as you go in the locker room?
Well, not much different. Pretty even all the way. Neither team got much on the other. I thought they got some good looks. We got some looks. We had a little foul trouble that we're working through on the perimeter guys, but long 20 minutes ahead.
All right, Coach, thanks.
Thank you.
One of the great men in college basketball. He won his 500th game in late November. That's the end of the first half. We're going to take you to the AT&T at the half after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Number 7, San Diego State. Number 10, the Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah, it's a low-scoring half, especially with two teams and the type of athletes they have. You know, this game is supposed to be played in the 70s and 80s with the finishers on both teams. And right now, it looks like both of these teams have been waiting around, which they have all day in their hotels watching all the games.
So the Sooners begin the second half shooting 42%. San Diego State shot 40% in the first half. And here comes Thames out there with Stevens and O'Brien. Tapley with the ball. Franklin is the 5th Aztec, and a nice steal right here. And the other way, and taking it to the rack is Hornbeck, who is fouled going up high.
Good hands there by Hornbeck. And even better in transition, recognizing that Tapley was coming late.
I should say he was trying to go up high. He was knocked back, and Jelon Hornbeck started the last 8 games, started the first 20 games. They sat him in the middle. He had a great game in that win over then number 5 Kansas. Lenny had 7 points in the last 90 seconds to lead the Sooners to the upset down in Norman.
Well, Hornbeck was a starter pretty much, including the last 8 games he started. Outstanding 3-point shooter, second on the team. And that's where he can do his damage. But defensively, he's really gotten under the skin of San Diego State.
Xavier Thames. And he finds Stevens inside. Deshaun Stevens, a senior from Los Angeles. He didn't play high school basketball either. And he's really come on strong. Certainly he's had a chance to work on his game, and he's a fine player for the Aztecs.
In fact, was cut from his senior year high school team.
I want to know who is coaching.
Absolutely. And if you're watching it right now and you are still coaching, if I'm the AD of that school, I got to start looking at this kid.
Deflected out of bounds by Chase Tapley.
You know, I get a sense in looking at the demeanor of Steve Fisher, and when Lewis was talking to him, he's a little bit frustrated. And in a whole, you know, we talked about the Mountain West, and right now they're only 1 of 3. Colorado State's the only team to have won so far in this NCAA tournament. So many expectations, and they're kind of just going through the motions, almost like they're just happy to be playing right now. They have an opportunity to move on.
Well, that last play by Osby demonstrated that San Diego State willing to be muscled, because Osby just took his defender with him, took straight to the basket.
Osby now with the game-high 11 points, and here comes a pass to O'Brien in the middle of the lane. Osby collects the ball. He's the 5th leading rebounder in the Big 12. Passo's his 3rd. They kick it out, Pledger, an open 3. And knocked away by Osby, who gained possession and then was shoved
by Osby.
Yeah, it's a second foul on Osby.
But you don't have a problem with that foul, because that was all about effort right there. Guys trying to crash the offensive glass, you know, being blocked out, not settling for it.
Here's Thames, and he'll be backed up at the other end by Hornbeck. Tapley puts it in from outside.
Finally, Tapley's starting to show some emotion here, along with Jamal Franklin. Tapley, a senior. He doesn't want to go home yet, does he?
He's one of 3 active players in the college game with over 1,400 points, 350 rebounds, 250 assists, and 150 steals. He has had a nice career, the 4th all-time leading scorer for the
forgot
Aztecs.
the 50 blocks, by the way.
And the 50 blocks, thank you.
Well, if you're going to call it.
Yeah, call it, right? Yeah.
That's right.
Give the full body of the info. Grooms is in.
You guys, it's so interesting what winning does. You know, behind us is Sherwood Brown, you know, the star player for the Florida Gulf Coast University. I mean, he's taking pictures with his fans while the game is going on. I mean, it's interesting, you know, a team that's never been here, and he's taking pictures, not even looking at the team he may face tomorrow, or excuse me, on Sunday.
Well, he's a senior, and it's the last time around, so you might as well drink it in.
Pledger had the miss. Franklin now scoops it inside to Stevens. Pulls the trigger a couple times and finally comes away with 2.
Now a little bit of energy from the Aztecs.
That was nice penetration and delivery. And Stevens with a nice job of persevering. Thought that was coming to you, huh?
I sure did. Hey, as a shooter, I was getting ready.
3 minutes gone here in the second half. Osby with a
good
bulldozing move on the baseline.
And you called it right. Bulldozing. Anytime he gets head and shoulders past the man, there's no stopping him. You look at that upper body strength.
Look at the versatility of this kid. Not only can he knock down shots from the outside, he has a quick first step for a big guy.
Osby's got 13. We're tied at 38. Thames. Franklin. And Hornbeek is in there reaching for the ball, as was Stephen Pledger.
Well, both of these teams now starting to get more aggressive. And here, Osby just gets right past his man, J.J. O'Brien, head and shoulders past him. O'Brien is standing up too high. His center of gravity is too high to be able to move laterally with Osby. And Osby takes full advantage.
Hornbeek picks up his third. He will leave.
Sometimes I wonder how guys think they can guard a ball handler just standing straight up and not getting bent in defensive position.
Well, if you're Deshaun Stevenson, you're the biggest guy on the floor right now. When Tapley drives like that and you get the ball 2 feet away from the basket, gather yourself. Go on up.
Buddy Hield is checked in for Oklahoma. Approaching 16 to play in the second half. Here's Franklin. Thames. Down low, J.J. O'Brien trying to get free and picked up by Mbai of Oklahoma. Thames with the move.
Nice
delivery. And into J.J. O'Brien. He's got his first basket tonight.
Classic give and go there by J.J. O'Brien and Thames.
Osby again doubled inside, defended well. Stevens has the ball for the Aztecs. Try to build on that 2-point lead. They've led by as many as 3. Tapley by Mbai. Franklin. He's got 10. Thames on the shot right there, but he will go to the line. On the powerful Mountain West, the 7th seed Aztecs by 2.
outside the locker room. All right. Welcome back to Philadelphia. Lewis Johnson up in the stands, and look who I found, Sherwood Brown of Florida Gulf Coast. Now, you're roaming through the stands, signing autographs, taking photos, but I want to know, what was it like back in the locker room after that big win over Georgetown?
In the locker room, everybody was going ecstatic. There was water being thrown all over the place. Yeah, man, everyone's just having a really good time, enjoying the moment.
Is this really kind of an out-of-body experience, first time here having such success on this stage?
Yeah, I mean, it's our first time being here. We really are quite shocked that we're doing so well.
All right, and as you guys spend the rest of the evening here watching the game, when will you kind of get your feet back on the ground and prepare for the next one?
Well, we're going to try to watch who we play the winner of this game right here, so we're going to try to scout them out a little bit. But then when we get back to our room, we're going to get some rest, and tomorrow we get back at practice and everything.
All right, Sherwood, no rest for you right now. There are people lined up here for autographs, photos. I'll let you get back to work.
All right, now.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
All right, Kevin. Early, he's a superstar already.
Yeah, he's the Atlantic Sun Player of the Year, and a good note for all big-time players and big wins. Go right to the cheerleaders to enjoy the moment.
This kid is a bona fide star.
Well, their coaches made it fun.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
We've noticed they're about as loose a team as we have ever seen in the tournament.
We said he conducts his program like an NBA team. He's very loose. He gives them a long leash. He respects them, but in turn, they show them they come out and they play hard.
Cousins, saved by Heald. Hornbeek for three, and Osby flies in and taps it in.
Osby's just been doing everything in this second half. And Lynn, you talked about his size and his aggressiveness. Look at the offensive putback here. Just goes right over Jamal Franklin, who's a pretty good rebounder in his own right.
But that's will right there. You know, you want it badly enough, you're going to go get it. That was a 50-50 rebound, and Osby just took it away from everyone.
Osby with 15. They'll stick right there. Only Sooner in double figures. Franklin the other way, only Aztec in double figures. Trying to get the foul out of Osby, and it's picked up by Cousins. Racing the other way for Oklahoma, and picked up by Thames with a nice defensive play.
Funny, normally they'd call that kick ball, but you have to do it intentionally.
A little more than 5 minutes gone here in the second half. And in this half, San Diego State has gone 4 of 7. Oklahoma 3 of 7. Tapley with a three. Stevens the rebound. It's a fresh shot clock at 35, and Franklin bumping into Cousins, and they keep it alive, the Aztecs.
See, I wish Franklin on that offensive rebound would have shot that basketball. I mean, that's a 15-footer for him. I mean, he forces that bad shot the possession before.
Franklin got a screen
So
from
maybe
Stevens,
that's why he did it.
and that opened up the triple. He now has 15. It's his second three tonight.
Does that satisfy you, Mr. Miller?
Thank you. You want your star players.
No question.
This is the moment for them to shine and to be a little bit greedy.
Well, that's also called leadership when you get an opportunity, open shot.
Mbai with the ball, grinding his way into Shepard. Rebound by Thames. His 5th of the night for the Aztecs.
Telling you what, guys, we are setting ourselves up for a wild finish between these two teams.
Osby has the loose ball, picks it up inside for the Sooners. Follow tournament scores, stats, and news live on the CBS Sports app. Get it free by texting SCORE to 42777 or by visiting cbssports.com/mobile from your phone or your tablet. 13:47 here. Second half from Philadelphia, the 4th of 4 games.
Well, San Diego State really started to do a much better job rebounding. You heard Steve Fisher at the half say that's exactly what they need to do. Now they need to try to put the clamps on this guy.
Osby has the last 8 Oklahoma Sooner points and 17 for the game.
Tell you what, I'm loving his face-up game, the jab step he's giving. He's keeping the bigs of San Diego State off balance. And then when they come off, he's quick enough to go by them, showing the total package here.
Mbai watching Franklin. On top, Thames, and Heald is on him. Spencer the screen, a switch on D. Thames takes it into Osby. Outside Rahon off the bench and down. The hatchet goes. He has 12. He hits the 3. He is 5 of 5 tonight for the Aztecs. That's deflected out of bounds by the long reach of Skylar Spencer. San Diego State with their biggest lead tonight of 8 points.
Well, again, they've been doing a terrific job on the boards, but for letting Romero Osby get loose. You know, they're playing exactly the way in this half that Steve Fisher probably asked them to at halftime.
We talked about James Rahon only shooting 37% on the season, 5 of 5 tonight in this game. Huge off the bench, Steve Fisher.
Franklin may be hurt. Tampa just took his place. Tom Abdenauer, the athletic trainer for San Diego State, is looking at Jamal Franklin over on the sideline. Mba. Hornbeek with the drive. Rahon reaching in. Hornbeek comes up with 2, and he's got 5. Something's not right. They're checking it out. His foot, I think it's his left foot.
You know, it didn't look like at any point he may have twisted that ankle. Trying to work it out over there.
Well, he's a valuable guy in the Mountain West Conference. He's in the top 10 in 10 different categories.
The valuable, in my opinion. He should have been the Mountain West Player of the Year. I know he gave it to Kendall Williams.
Thames takes it right down the lane. Picked up by Osby, who's been terrific in the second half. He's got 5 rebounds, and he has poured in 17. Osby again. He'll scoop it home. And the Sooners come to within 2.
Now you see how greedy and aggressive Osby is being at the offensive end. And that's what I'm looking for Jamal Tapley once he gets back in. Hopefully that foot is okay.
Yeah, but when you look at Jamal Franklin, the first thing you want to think about is what kind of shoes is he wearing? No, I'm serious. I am very serious about that. They certainly look different than anybody else's athletic shoe.
Osby picks up his 3rd. Sooners down by 2.
What does he need to address me for?
Well, you supposedly got a degree at UCLA.
No,
Maybe
not
you care
supposedly
about
I
it.
did,
You
but
well, we've been concentrating as you take a look at the bottom of the South. Florida Gulf Coast with a big upset over 2-seed Georgetown. Moments ago, we were talking about Jamal Franklin. Just been told he has a slight ankle sprain, and here's where it happened.
yeah, a little tweak right here. And Lynn, you've been asking what kind of shoes.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Jamal Franklin.
He didn't step on anybody or anything.
Well, he did. He stepped on someone's foot on that
Actually,
first play.
it didn't look like it was, but on this one, even worse.
It was a little tweak, but when we saw him at practice yesterday wearing these, at first we thought they were Timberlands.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They look a lot different. And that's the first place you start.
These children today, it's all about the shoes, Lynn. You know, they all can't have the high top Chucks like you used to wear.
And you know what? We never had high ankle sprains either. We got the high top Chucks.
That's a good point. Rahon has come off the bench with 12. Here's Franklin with the kicks, and he takes it down to the baseline and shoved and fouled on the play with 11:15 to play in the second half. Foul is going to go for a fourth time on Pledger. And he's quickly going to exit. They're going to bring in the freshman Buddy Hield.
Well, it's pretty much the same type of players. You know, can knock down threes, explosive off the dribble, good defenders.
San Diego State had their 8th consecutive 20-win season, 5th straight 22-season win pickup in 5 years, and here comes Franklin. Rahon outside.
And Reg, what you said about Oklahoma, it's a luxury, man, that you can have duplicates out there.
Miss, and Hield will come the other way. Oklahoma this half has gotten 10 from Osby. He's gone 5 of 6. The rest of the team has gone 1 of 5. So he has kept them in there and breathing as they're down by 2. Under 11 to play. Oh, a big hole there for Grooms and a nice feed inside the paint for Clark. Counted for 2. And he's got 4.
Like Spencer came over a little bit late with the goaltending there. Nice dribble drive penetration.
We're tied again. 6-0 run by the Sooners. 4 ties, 8 lead changes. Sooners have led by as many as 9. And the Aztecs have led by as many as 6. Franklin twirling his way, auguring his way, and called for the travel. Celebrate 75 years of March Madness by voting for your all-time players, all-time teams, and moments of the NCAA Tournament. Vote now at ncaa.com/March Madness. Great to have you with us tonight here in Philadelphia. Hall of Famer Reggie Miller, Lenny Elmore. They're going to do some work over there on that Sooner sideline. Hornbeak was there. Grooms right down the lane and looking to feed and throws it away. Franklin picks it up. Tapley gets by Hield. Has a lead block from O'Brien and takes it right to the rack.
Again, another excellent job of recognition. Seeing that lane open up. We've seen it from both teams.
10 minutes gone in the second half.
Osby's been so good in this second half. We'll see if Coach Kruger is going to try to find a way to. I think he has an advantage on J.J. O'Brien.
He's also played a lot of minutes.
I think that advantage is down low more than anything else.
Tyler Neal is coming for the Sooners. Here's a shot by Cameron Clark. Leaping two-hand rebound by Jamal Franklin. He's taken 4 off the glass.
Has to do everything.
Tapley lost it. 9.5 to play. Spencer. Franklin, big fake. Heel goes by. Rahon, his first miss tonight.
Why did Franklin give it up? I was going to ask you, Reg.
Thank you. Pump fake, he had a wide open shot. I know you're trying to be unselfish and all, but in a one and done situation, game on the line, you up 2, I want my best player taking shots.
I mean, with all due respect to Rahon, and he has made a couple of threes today. Bottom line, though, he made 1 3, but he's 5 of 5 from the field. But he's only shooting 29% from beyond the arc.
Right, and 37 from the field.
Tapley picks up his second. He'll check out. Xavier Thames will take his place. Stevens comes in off the bench of Coach Steve Fisher. Osby. Franklin with the rebound. And bumped by Heald and a foul.
And unfortunately, that shot by Osby was one of those, I haven't touched it in a long time. Let me put it up there, and it wasn't well done.
Well, the winner in this game between the 7 and 10 teams will take on Florida Gulf Coast. Surprising, certainly, the second-seeded Hoyas of Georgetown, who had a share of the regular season title in the Big East.
And if I'm Coach Andy Enfield, I'm thinking one more win, and this upstart surprise team has a chance to go to the Sweet 16. That's how I got to look at it.
I'm thinking just stay loose. I mean, that's been their
play free
personality since they stepped foot here in Pennsylvania.
And what an opportunity for Steve Fisher and Dorlon Kruger. Kruger and his Oklahoma team hasn't been to the playoffs, excuse me, to the tournament in 4 years.
One big checks in for Tyler Neal, and Steve Fisher and his team traveling 2,732 miles from San Diego's airport to Philadelphia's. Good spin move inside. That is a travel. $8:51 to play.
I will say this. Whoever out of these two teams plays Florida Gulf Coast, I think the favorite in that game is going to be the Eagles.
Gee.
I really do. Looking at what I'm seeing right now as Lynn, because Lynn coined this, I'm going to give you props. The eye test.
Yeah.
I mean, both these teams are athletic and all, but what we saw in the first game tonight this afternoon, if they play that way loose and they're making shots, yeah, they would be the favorites over either one of these teams.
And one thing we've learned in this tournament is that if you play too tightly, you lose your grip.
Absolutely.
J.J. O'Brien hit down the last time, and little 6-0 run here by San Diego State, approaching 8 to play. Rahon takes it right to the hole. Stevens tips it in.
Great putback.
He's got 6, and the lead for the Aztecs goes to 8. It's their biggest tonight over Oklahoma. And 7:51 to play.
Michigan State, 1997 to 2000. As the only 3-time All-American for Michigan State, Mateen Cleaves performed under pressure and showed extraordinary toughness in the Spartans' 2000 NCAA championship run. Cleaves, a Michigan native, averaged over 14 points per game in the tournament and battled a foot injury to help Michigan State win its second title. In doing so, he would earn the tournament's Most Outstanding Player award. Cleaves still ranks as the Spartans' all-time leader in steals with 193.
Well, Lenny, you take a look at the numbers here, and they're very even, yet we've got an 8-point game in favor of San Diego State.
Yeah, we've got to look behind the numbers. I mean, from the free throw line, San Diego State is perfect, 9 of 9, where Oklahoma is 4 of 6. San Diego State has one more three-point shot and one more field goal, and every little bit counts.
And if you're Romero Osby, you have 19 points, but no one else on the Sooner team has more than 6. It's been a one-man wrecking crew.
Cousins on the floor, Clark out there, also Hornbeek, Healed, Osby down low, that's the Sooner 5. Cousins, shot clock at 15. Cousins over Thames, picked up by Rahon. There's a foul inside, it goes against San Diego State. Well, Jamal Franklin has got the 17 points. He's gone 4 of 9, hit all 7 of his free throws. Blocking shots, scoring plays, and leading the Aztecs tonight in Philly. Well, after all the games, join Matt Weiner, Seth Davis, Steve Smith, and the Boy King Rex Chapman. All the highlights and analysis on Inside March Madness presented by Buick, only on True TV. A lot of stars today and tonight on the landscape of college basketball.
Well, to me, the biggest star, Sherwood Brown. No one really gave, obviously, the 15-seeded Eagles of Florida Gulf Coast any opportunity against the mighty Georgetown Hoyas, but they found a way.
A lot of people still contacting.
And why not? Look at that. They're all on social media. They're all on Twitter, Facebook, Foursquare. They're probably on the Bleacher Report.
Rahon with a nice interception and a pass intended for Hornbeek. Bad news for the Sooners. If they score 60 points or less, they have lost 27 consecutive games. Right now, they're stuck at 48. Franklin has been the big scorer with 17. Rahon has come off the bench for the Aztecs with 12. And only one player in double figures for Oklahoma. Thames got a good screen from O'Brien, lost the ball. Picked up by Isaiah Cousins. And a long three, run in by Osby. They needed that. He's got 22.
He's the only one in rhythm, Lynn.
And if you're San Diego State and you recognize that he's the most dangerous offensive player, even if he's trailing the play, how do you leave him open?
Thames will come the other way. Franklin picked up by Hornbeek.
Man, what a big three that was by Osby.
Nice ball rotation. Rahon for three. He has been a flamethrower off the Aztec bench. He's got 15 points. He's knocked down a couple triples. Here's a three, overshooting everything is healed. Rahon's been very hot for San Diego State.
Well, he certainly has helped them tremendously. Here's the guy that came into this game shooting 29% from beyond the arc. But he's looking at the basket with a great deal of confidence. His teammates feel the confidence in him, and they continue to feed him. Even when Jamal Franklin is hot, he's been giving him the ball as well.
Here's Franklin, Hield is on him. 6 to play. Aztecs in the second half are shooting 52%. A little bit more meticulous now in their offense in Franklin. He got Clark in the air. Rahon with another three. Stevens grabs the ball, climbing the ladder, kicks it out to O'Brien in the fresh 35.
Well, that was a tough offensive rebound.
And the smart move to do, kick it back out, run some time off the clock. You have control of this ball game right now.
Against his zone, Stevens getting himself in good position. Each time he thinks somebody's shooting, watch him get an Oklahoma player on his back, and he makes room to try to offensive rebound.
8-point game here over on TNT Western Kentucky. Kansas in a tight one and a missed shot there. Franklin goes down hard, and here comes a long shot by Hornbeek. It's no good. Rebound by Rahon. The San Diego State team with the lead and 5 minutes left to play has won 91 consecutive games, and that's their star right there, Jamal Franklin.
And here's what happens. Franklin drives baseline. Unfortunately, Stevens gets in the way inadvertently, and Franklin just has to jump over a traffic jam.
Yeah, you don't know if he came down and hit his funny bone here. Kind of landed somewhat awkward.
You recall his game in the NCAAs last year against North Carolina State when he had 23 points and 8 rebounds. But again, when leading with less than 5 to play, 91 consecutive wins for San Diego State. Let's see if they can nurse it here. They're up by 8 and 4:40 left. Rahon right down the lane. Picked up by Stevens, another offensive rebound, another fresh shot clock.
That's what I mean. Against that zone, Stevens just concentrating on rebounding the ball.
Good looking stroke by Franklin, puts it down. A 13-3 San Diego State run. Franklin with 19 for the Aztecs.
And again, give credit to Deshaun Stevens for keeping the possession alive.
Wow, they just knocked Hornbeek off his horse. And a foul on the Aztecs inside a congested lane.
And Jamal Franklin, second shot opportunity allowed by Stevens. One dribble right pull up right into his wheelhouse here. Look at this. This clear space. It's a dead-eye shooter when given the opportunity.
Yeah, and you give Stevens a lot of credit for playing his role. All he needs to do is continue to rebound, get good position, keep the ball alive, increase the possessions.
Pledger back in, misses the shot. Oklahoma has just one score in a little over the last 6 minutes of this game. 4 to play. Thames, Tapley, Stevens. The 7th-seed Aztecs, 22-10, 9-7 in the Mountain West. Franklin catches again. He's dancing on Pledger. Nice rebound by Mbah.
You got to look for Osby right now. You know, you got an open shot there, but you got to look for your big fella. Give him at least a touch.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure that was an open shot by him. And you're right, 100%. The only offensive threat for the Sooners has been Romeo Osby.
Thames a transfer from Washington State, where he only played for a season.
Yeah, Osby's got 22 points. The next highest guy is Cousins with 6.
Good screen by Stevens. Tapley free to fire. Osby collects the ball inside as he pulls the string on that. 8th rebound for him. And the other way comes Isaiah Cousins. And a foul on Franklin. With 2:50 to play, and the Aztecs a 10-point lead. Third round begins tomorrow at noon Eastern on CBS with VCU Michigan. That should be a dandy at 5 p.m. TNT adds the NCAA Infinity Tip-Off Show. 8 games across CBS, TNT, and TBS over 12 hours. Here we have a 10-point game, 2:50 to play. San Diego State on top as we take a look at the Capital One Cup impact performance.
Started this second half, I said I wanted to see a little bit more of Jamal Franklin, and he has not disappointed. We saw the back cut in the finish. One dribble right into his wheelhouse, 19 points. And when it comes to the tournament time, your stars have to step up. And Jamal Franklin definitely has stepped up.
Yeah, and I tell you, Romeo Osby has also stepped up, but he's not allowed to get to the next rung because his teammates aren't playing with him.
So Franklin and Stevens out there along with Xavier Thames. Also on the floor is J.J. O'Brien. At the free throw line for Oklahoma is Cousins.
Let's see if Coach Kruger is going to extend the, after these free throws, some pressure, try to come up with steals here.
Osby was going after the ball with Franklin. Here comes Temple. Pledger, the top of the defense. Hornbeek is out there. Mbai, Cousins, and Osby. The Sooner 5. 2.5 to play. Oklahoma has got one score in the last 8.5 minutes. Franklin running around. He shed the defense, and good defense right there by Isaiah Cousins. He'll kick it outside. Pledger with a three. Chased down by J.J. O'Brien and fouled on the play. Well, at Conan State, you either come to play basketball, watch people play basketball, or watch people watching people play basketball. Watch Conan weeknights only on TBS to learn more about the Conan State team. SDSU, I thought, was Colorado State. I guess it's Conan State would be. As far as we're concerned, here's O'Brien at the free throw line, a sophomore from Rancho Cucamonga, California. Leading offensive rebounder. He's a transfer from Utah on this team.
And in the last few possessions down the floor, you and I have both been talking to get the ball to Osby. Do they know that this kid offensively has carried them all evening?
I'm not so sure they're aware of it. Somebody's got to remind them.
The Aztecs with a 15-3 run. Here's a shot by Osby from way outside. Franklin gets another rebound. He's had 8 tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of getting late in the day for Oklahoma. And he saw that shot once again. It's one of those kind of settled shots that Osby hasn't touched in a long time, doesn't feel part of it.
Well, it's been a long day, and our stats monitor just went kaput. Going inside, knocked away by Osby. He's all over the floor.
Look for him. There he is.
Minute and a half to play. Osby into O'Brien. Deflected by Stevens. Picked up by Mbah. He puts it in for Oklahoma. It's a 15-5 run for San Diego State. And a timeout on the floor. 10-point game, 1:23 to play. It's been rough and tumble between the Aztecs and the Sooners. Back in Philadelphia, you see the timeout story and the fouls and the possession arrow. With a 10-point San Diego State lead, Thames is being assisted by Tom Hampton, and they'll take him to the end of the bench. I don't know if he's got a bloody nose or a cut. I couldn't see it there. Doesn't look like his nose is.
Well, he inadvertently took a hand or elbow to the face.
Finger in the left eye. I think I just watched a replay over here, and this looked like what he got, so they'll attend to him. Sooners are down. Aztecs will bring it up and tackle. This team off in the semifinals of the Mountain West Tournament in Las Vegas last week. Had a couple extra days of practice, and they've get that out of my eye there.
It's a bright light.
There's a laser. So Chase Tapley, whose dad played at Arkansas State, Tommy. He's 2 of 2 from the free throw line tonight. 1:12 to play. Steve Fisher has really had the upper hand against Lon Kruger. He's won 13 and lost 5, and like we said, they've met in 2 different conferences, in the Big Ten and in the Mountain West. Kruger was at Illinois when he first came to Michigan. He was at UNLV. And Fisher was then and still is coaching San Diego State. Cousins looking for a screen, drives down the lane, puts this over J.J. O'Brien, and digging it out again and playing a very hearty game is Deshaun Stevens, and he's got 9 rebounds. Here comes Franklin, who tried to do a little razzle-dazzle, and it still drops in. You know it is your night when that happens.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, I'm glad they're up, and they'll probably end up winning this ball game.
He's still going to hear about it.
Oh, gosh.
That's almost a rub-in right there.
End of the day, it counted as 2 points.
Just the same as the layup, huh?
That's right. Just a fancy layup he did right there, Lynn.
But I bet you he won't do it again.
Here's Stevens again, rebound number 10. Only Aztec, by the way, to start every game this season was Deshaun Stevens.
Well, take your hat off to Romero Hosky, though. You know, he fought the good fight,
He did.
senior.
Almost it seemed like single-handedly, huh?
Yeah, he certainly did. And down the stretch, his teammates kind of forgot about him.
Well, I will say this sets up a pretty good matchup on Sunday of two players I kind of want to see go at one another because they've got that same type of demeanor. Sherwood Brown of Florida Gulf Coast University and Jamal Franklin of San Diego State. And they're going to be matched up with one another, guarding one another. They both like to talk and extracurricular activity.
That was the first missed free throw for San Diego State tonight. They've now gone 14 of 15. Emba. Hornbeak trying to free himself. Gets it inside to Emba. 31 seconds to play. San Diego State's going to make it 92 consecutive wins when leading with 5 minutes left to play. It's a credit to Steve Fisher that they've had that kind of streak. The fans who have traveled over 2,700 miles to watch their Aztecs tonight, and the Sooners will go back to Norman and continue to build on what Lon Kruger has done over the last 2 years.
It was interesting speaking with Steve Fisher yesterday in practice. He didn't think he was going to have a big contingency of fans coming from San Diego, but a pretty good turnout.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Rahon. And the Sooners the other way. Cousins. Emba with a three. Retrieved by Stevens. And off to Tapley. And that may be all she wrote. Trying to get free. Finding Franklin. San Diego State, the 7th seed, will win it in Philadelphia tonight over the 10th seeded Oklahoma Sooners. A couple good friends shaking hands there, Lon Kruger and Steve Fisher. 15-point win for the Aztecs, and now they have the task of taking on the 15th seed Eagles of Florida Gulf Coast. For Len Elmore, Reggie Miller, and Lewis Johnson, Kevin Harlan saying so long from Philadelphia. You can go to TNT now for the conclusion of Western Kentucky and Kansas. It's a big one in Kansas City. We're going to send you to our studios right after this. Good night from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Can we just step back about a foot, please? Just